President-elect Donald Trump claimed during an NBC Meet the Press interview that members of January 6th committee, including Vice Chair Liz Cheney and Chairman Bennie Thompson, should go to jail for allegedly destroying records, while Trump stated he wouldn't personally direct investigations yet. Is this the clip?
Yes, this is from Meet the Press, and then I have Adam Schiff.
Go for it. Play the clip.
Shifty Schiff.
Cheney did something that's inexcusable, along with Thompson and the people on the Unselect Committee of political
Unselect Committee.
Creeps. So the Unselect Committee went through a year and a half of testimony. Wait. They deleted and destroyed all evidence of that they found. You know why? Because Nancy Pelosi was guilty. Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 troops. You wouldn't have had a J6 because other people were guilty. The people that said that I attacked 2 Secret Service agents in a car. I grabbed one around the neck. I was then rebuffed, and I grabbed the other one. These are 2 of the toughest men anywhere on the planet. They happen to be slightly younger than me, maybe, just a little bit. Let me just tell you. They testified. They said it was total.
I love it.
And all of this stuff came out. People lied so badly. Now, listen, this was a committee, a big deal. They lied. And what did they do? They deleted and destroyed a whole year and a half worth of testimony. Do you know that I think those people committed a major crime.
Sir?
And Cheney was behind it.
Well,
and so was Bennie Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
Good.
So you think Liz Cheney should go to jail?
For what they did.
Everyone on the committee, you think
I think
should
everybody
go to jail.
anybody that voted in favor.
Are you going to direct your FBI director and your attorney general to send them to jail?
She can't get close enough.
I think that they'll have to look at that. But
now
I'm
go to Schiff's response, Rob. Go to Schiff's response.
Shifty Schiff.
Watch this.
On the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him.
Very strongly in favor of indicting the president when he is out of office.
I don't think the incoming president should be threatening his political opponents with jail time. That's not the kind of talk
How
we should hear
embarrassing.
from
Kevin
the
Spacey of
president
freaking
in a
politics.
democracy.
How embarrassing is that? Tom, thoughts?
Look,
J6.
J6. The left is in a major coping moment. You know that's my favorite word because I look at it and I say, what's going on under there? They're talking about J6. They're talking about this. Things have come out. 26 federal assets are there on the ground during the insurrection. Video that they've suppressed. Remember they suppressed 1,000 hours of surveillance video.
And Mike Johnson started releasing it.
Remember that, Pat?
Yeah.
Now why? Now we see it. We see 5 cops waving their arms like this and doing like this. Come on in. Opening the doors like this and seeing orderly people going up and down the halls. All this stuff on J6. And then Trump comes out and says, look, if they're holding a committee, look, here's what would happen. If they... Let's say a businessman is in his office and he hears, hey, you've got these government contracts, Vinny. You know these government contracts? Mm-hmm. Remember you were changing the pricing on that stuff?
Yeah.
Guess what? They've been calling us for 3 days and they want to come in and talk to our accountant. And apparently there's 5 guys coming tomorrow. And you start deleting records. You start going and finding anytime you've printed out the invoices, you delete those. You take a couple boxes home, you delete those, and you throw them in the recycle thing. They get picked up. You know what that's called? Obstruction of justice by frustrating an investigation, by deleting or destroying evidence that you were ordered to preserve.
Like Hillary with her.
So this committee that's supposed to investigate this goes for a year and a half. I agree with Trump. The committee? I mean, they're talking about, remember they wanted Trump's notes and little papers? Mm-hmm. Oh, all those notes from the president have to go to the Library of Congress. Every last thing. Even if you wrote on a small piece of paper, listening to someone in a meeting, this guy is an unbelievable jerk. That little note, if I was president, goes to they take everything. And so a committee comes up here, they go a year and a half, and then they destroy the evidence, and now the stuff is coming out, and Trump says, I think they committed a big crime. He's right. You or me, ladies and gentlemen, we would be charged with obstruction of justice and frustrating an investigation by destruction or suppression of evidence that we have been ordered to preserve. This is a government committee, ladies and gentlemen, that gets to the end of it and said, you know what? We better not have any evidence come out about Pelosi in this. Oh, you mean the video from her niece in the car where she's admitting what she did?
Mm-hmm.
And so what Trump is saying, I think he's absolutely correct. And compare that to the J6 things on Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff should be embarrassed. What a duplicitous, two-faced, exposed. But guess what? The light of truth is exposing darkness, and all of us, including Stephen A. few minutes ago, are not liking what we see.
And by the way, just so everybody understands that they had 26 confidential human sources that they dressed as MAGA supporters. Now, the IG report said what? That 13 entered restricted areas. They're not supposed to be there. And 4 actually went into the Capitol. All right? And who knows how many FBI agents that were actually undercover were there, because Christopher Wray, you can never get a straight answer from him. I'm happy he's resigning. But I want people to understand one thing, and I want you guys to know this too. They were not undercover agents, the 26, okay? They didn't collect a pension. They don't work technically for the FBI, all right? These are confidential human resources, okay? There's a difference. These guys are basically snitches. They've been caught doing something else, and the FBI says, hey, listen, you want to get 20 years? You want to go life? If you don't work for us, we're going to give you that sentence. So come work for us. So these guys are basically civilians going in there, agitating the crowd, throwing shit at police, starting the riot. And I believe, this is Vincent Oshana, that it was all on purpose. And then take into account, remember the chief of Capitol Police, Stephen Sun? He repeated, he was on trial. They fired him. Nancy Pelosi, right? She's the one that fired him? That he requested National Guard assistant, and it was delayed by Nancy Pelosi's office, leaving the Capitol with no reinforcements. He also, the potential violence that they knew, they had warnings for weeks that was going to be violent, ignored, okay? So all of this, all of it, and that's why Christopher Wray is stepping down, it was all, to me, my opinion, set up to make him look like this insurrection. Nobody died. The only person that died was Ashley Babbitt, a United States Air Force veteran who was shot by Michael Byrd, I think, who's had a history of crazy stuff. So I think it's day one. I hope day one he pardons all the people. But mind you, if you were a civilian and you were punching cops and stuff, okay, you deserve to be in jail. But what about the grandmothers that were there waving flags and they're doing years in prison? I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
You just mentioned pardon. I want to see if Adam Schiff or Nancy Pelosi end up on the Biden list.
For sure. But here's the thing, though. You have to be convicted of a crime. What have they been convicted of?
No, you don't. Hunter wasn't convicted. Hunter's in the middle. Hunter was convicted of certain things, but over those 10 years that he was at the pardon covers 10 years, not a specific crime. That was the issue with Hunter Biden. They said, why didn't you just say, hey, the gun charge and the tax thing, and we'll just pardon you for that. No, he pardoned Hunter for anything he could have done, including farting in church over a 10-year period.
What? Yeah, and you know what, Tom? You know me, because I've been critical of Hunter this entire time, and I would talk crap. I'd be like, bro, Hunter, like, why does he keep doing this? Why does he keep breaking the law? Why does he, you know what? If you knew that you were untouchable. Why does he keep allegedly breaking laws, international laws? Yeah, well, think about it. Recording all the stuff that's on the laptop, everything that he's alleged to have done. Why wouldn't you? If you are allegedly a degenerate, crack-smoking guy that sleeps with your brother and does all these nefarious things, why wouldn't you? On video. Yeah. And then why wouldn't you? If you knew you had a freaking get-out-of-jail-free card pass from your dad, why would now it all makes sense. I would be that guy too. If I was a degenerate and I was him, why wouldn't you do it?
Well, to be fair, 10 years ago when it started, and when they 10% for the big guy, which allegedly meant that there was some sort of a payment going to Biden. Biden wasn't president. Biden didn't have the power. So you could say that Hunter appears to be a horribly troubled person. That's very objective. And over the course of time, all these things happen. Now he is damn lucky that his father is the president and can give him this pardon. Otherwise, with his dad leaving office, he'd spent a lot of time with, sitting in front of a judge. But
think about it. Obama was in for 8 years. So from then, he knew his dad had the connection to help him out. So this goes back a long time. I get the 2014 thing, but he's been that guy for a long time because he knows he's protected, period. That guy, he's not a good dude, bro.
Well, look, Tom, I'm going to do you a favor right now. I'm going to pardon you if you've ever farted in church, okay? Yeah. Especially if that's something that you're concerned about that Hunter did. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But
It was my metaphorical for anything, right?
No, I'm with you, Tom.
Chewing gum in class.
I want to make sure you're okay.
No, Adam thought you were literal, but go.
Fine, yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're here. But they say the tapes don't lie. Adam Schiff, that tape of him basically. Are you kidding me? So the double standard here is sort of ridiculous. It's also sort of proven that, we live in a day and age where you are guilty until you're proven not guilty. We're no longer in a day of age where you're innocent until not proven guilty. Everyone on that January 6th committee and in multiple committees and everyone that was basically going after Trump, they had an agenda. They were not impartial. They were activists, and they wanted to see Trump go down. And they were looking for ways to find him guilty. They were not basically being impartial. And that's understandable in our political climate these days. But as far as January 6th, how many people do you think were at the general, just overall Capitol that day? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands?
I don't know the
Best
number.
guess.
Do you know? Let's say what?
Let's say it's a couple 100,000, right?
No,
Maybe?
I don't know.
No?
At the Capitol?
No, I'm not saying they went in the Capitol.
No, I understand.
Okay.
I was gonna say 3,000 to 5,000, but what?
No.
2,500 people.
Hear me out.
Entered.
2,000 people entered the Capitol. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a small percentage of what was there.
Yeah.
Let's just say 100,000. It's probably more.
Okay.
Right? 1,300 people were charged. So what I like to do is sort of isolate, as PBD always says, the people who were there to voice their concern, freedom of speech, freedom to protest, freedom to assemble, versus the people who are doing some angry stuff, versus the people who are legitimately should be in jail.
Yeah.
If you broke into the Capitol and you're destructing things, and you're doing, we've interviewed Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman, actually great guy by the way.
Oh, amazing.
Ironically,
Yeah.
But he was dealing with some stuff. Total sweetheart.
I want to know where you're going.
So what I'm saying is this: is that the truth shall set you free. I've said this before. The famous quote: "The truth passes through three phases. First, you're ridiculed, then you're violently opposed, and then it's accepted as being self-evident." What's happening right now in Trump world is that all the truth is coming out.
Yeah.
People were lying. Everything was going on. Everything was against him, and now he's sort of having his vindication. And like you said, don't do a victory dance right now. Don't be dancing in the end
Adam,
zone yet.
so here's my question. What do you say about those, let's say 2,000, 2,500, whatever that are there? Now you find out that there was at least 26 people in there. They were not FBI. They were working for the FBI. They were civilians that were making people get crazy. Remember Ray Epps? God knows who the hell he is. He got a misdemeanor charge. He walked away. The guy's on camera saying, "Hey guys, tomorrow we are going in the Capitol." And then people broke in. So if you are inciting violence, if we all go outside right now and we're hanging out, we want to go into the building, and I'm like, "Hey Tom," in his ear, "Tom, you know what? Throw that rock." Or I start throwing shit and I hit the police, the Capitol Police, and then they start shooting at us, and then we get mad. Those people are responsible for me for the whole thing kicking off. And you said, I agree with you 100%, Adam. If you just walked up to a Capitol Police and you punched them in the face, you know what? You belong in jail. But the majority of it, setting the fire.
Watch this. This is the one.
This is the guy.
Go ahead,
This is
Rob.
the guy. What's his name again?
Ray Epps.
We need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. What?
Who is that
You're
guy?
saying what?
Yeah, look.
Well,
Fed. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Tomorrow?
Well, this is at night, so this is the night before.
Look,
I'll be arrested.
I'll be arrested.
We need to go. I'll say it. All right. We need to go in.
Yeah. Nice Trump
to the
hat.
Capitol. These Fed posting? All right.
Yeah, nice
We
Trump
need to
hat.
go into the
Nice
Capitol.
Trump hat.
I
And
didn't see
how does that guy only get a
Bennie,
misdemeanor?
you have a amazing point here, because there is inciting violence, but at the same time, there's personal accountability. There's people there, they've been like, "No, we're not going in there. We're not doing it." So I don't care how much I tell you, "Vinny, do this, Vinny, do that." It's on you if you do something illegal.
I understand, but
no matter what anybody tells you to do.
But that's illegal. How does he only get a misdemeanor while there's people
I
doing
don't
20
know
years
what-
for doing the same thing? So
Listen, but if you went into the Capitol and you did some foul, felonious stuff,
yeah.
you should be held accountable.
Okay. All right. Well, that's that. We'll see what's going to happen. Listen, if on day one he pardons, how many people are in jail right now for J6? What's
There
the
was
number?
1,300 people that were charged. I don't know the exact number of people that are in jail.
How many are in jail for J6 right now?
For a long
Hundreds.
time. For a long time.
I think he will. 562
Okay, almost 1,000.
have been sentenced to periods of incarceration.
Okay.
He will, approximately 9 have had their case adjudicated
yeah.
and receive sentences for the going after Department 5. Okay. he has claimed, if I'm not mistaken, that he's going to pardon every one of those guys on day one.
Oh, I hope so.
Okay, on day one. So we'll see
I'm not good with that.
what'll happen with that on day one. This hat, remember this hat that we showed? I told the crew, I said, I don't know how this hat's going to do. Let me put it to you this way. We don't have this for sale, so you can't even buy it. It's done. We're shipping 1,000 of these out today. So for some of you guys that are waiting for it, it's officially at our warehouse. It's going out to you. Merry Christmas. By the way, this, Rob, can you play the clip with Jill Biden talking about happy holidays and a kid corrects it? We're at a point that kids are correcting the First Lady that, hey, why can't you just say Merry Christmas, that a kid has to lecture the president's wife. Watch this clip here. It's so funny. It's 13 seconds. Go ahead.
Hello. How are you? Hi. Happy holidays.
Watch
Hi.
it.
Happy Christmas.
Yes.
Happy Christmas. Yes.
Happy holidays to Happy Christmas. You can pause it right there. The kid is more comfortable saying Merry Christmas than our First Lady is. But anyways, this sold, the USA hat versus this hat, in 6 weeks, it sold the same amount as the USA hat did in 6 months.
That's ridiculous.
This hat, Christmas. But so I'm not selling it to you. We don't have it. We still have these Christmas hats left, these two Merry Christmas. One thing I will tell you that moved insanely fast were these sweaters. These sweaters that the quality is insane. You can literally sleep in these things with winter being around the corner. This one here, hot item going off the shelf. This is 3D quality. And on the back, it shows future looks bright.
I want one of
These are still out
This
there.
might be the softest thing I've ever touched.
I'm
not even
you.
joking.
Wow.
Seriously?
You're 44. You've
Hot route.
touched
Well,
something.
let's,
But let me go.
Can we
back
start
to this
the
part here.
podcast? I'm ready for that.
When you go to, if you go to VT Merch, what we do have right now is gift cards. And this is what we're doing with the gift cards. You can buy a gift card for a friend, relative, fan, somebody that's watching this. I had a husband today say, hey, Pat, can you send me a Manek to my wife? She absolutely loves PBD Podcast. And can you please make sure you say Merry Christmas to my wife, which I did. And let me even give her a quick shout out. The last name was Lynch. If I can find this thing here, Chris Lynch, shout out to you for sending a Manek to give a shout out to your wife, Caroline Lynch. So you got a Manek and you're getting a shout out here. But go order a gift card. The first 50 people that order a $50 gift card, we're also sending a hat, Future Looks Bright hat in there for you as well. Give it to somebody you love for this Christmas. It's a lot of merch moving right now, guys, and people are in a very optimistic mode of Future Looks Bright. We want 1 million people around the world wearing this gear. Future Looks Bright. Go order the sweater. It's cold. Get one for yourself and a loved one. Again, go to vtmerch.com. Place your order.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.